Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome to another BoshNRoll Legacy video, and as promised, I have more Lands-Pox for you, this time from Patreon subscriber Pramicon. And what we're doing this time is something that was suggested a lot in the comments last time, which is adding exploration. Pramicon wanted this build to come in hot and heavy with land destruction, which is what all Pox decks do, but they don't always do it on like an exploration Ghost Quarter kind of level. There are 2 Ghost Quarters in this deck to complement the 2 Boshejus on top of the normal Wasteland Smallpox business. We even have a Crucible of Worlds to really go nutty with Ghost Quarter and exploration in a mid game. If your opponent runs out of basics, Ghost Quarter becomes Strip Mine, which is even better than Wasteland. And Bosheju also becomes Sinkhole. Like, there's a lot of tax on the basic lands in your opponent's deck. There are some legacy decks that play like 6 or 7 basics, which we're going to have a hard time running out of them. But most play like 0 to 2. And they're going to run out quick with the amount of pressure we're putting on them with this deck. Outside of the extra focus on land destruction with the 2 Ghost Quarter, 2 Boseiju, this looks like a pretty normal Pox deck. Only 3 Dark Ritual, which is a number that I've liked lately, especially if we have Mox Diamond in the list. I'm at the full form Mox Diamond. I found that 6 or 7 is the right number of accelerators. I kind of like 3 Mox Diamond, 3 Dark Ritual, because it's a card that you want in your opening hand, but basically never want to see after that. I like that Mox Diamond overlaps with Urza Saga. That gives it a little insulation that Dark Ritual doesn't have, where Urza Saga is basically always going to find something on its way through, even if you're out of bullets like Foundry and Nile Spellbomb. Because this list, to make room for these Bosejus and Ghost Quarters, had to go a little skinnier on the Urza Saga payoff package. There's no main deck Pithing Needle here. But this is a list that should be able to use Mox Diamond pretty effectively. The last list I played only had 3 Loams as well. We're back up to 4 here. Because of the nature of this deck, trying to do exploration stuff, it's really important to always have multiple lands in your hand. Though I like 3 as a number, because you only really need 1 in a game most of the time. I like 3 as a number in a more traditional Pox shell, but this one is really dedicated to getting extra lands into play, and I want to go all the full 4 here. Speaking of 4 ofs, Hymn to Turok, Smallpox, Liliana of the Veil are 4 ofs. Those are, of course, the core of the Pox shell. These are the types of things you want a Dark Ritual into, you want to happen early, you want a Mox Diamond into. Only 3 Thoughtseize, just because I ran out of deck space, and that seemed like the most cuttable card. 1 Liliana the Last Hope, that's a win condition. The ways this deck can actually win the game are Liliana the Last Hope, Retrofitter Foundry, and Urza Saga. So it's nice to have a Planeswalker that gets off the mono artifact path. We can also just grind opponents into concessions by removing all their ability to play the game, which is kind of plan A. Notable exclusions in this list. Curse Scroll is a card that I really like. It's a classic Pox card and a classic, well, not so much classic, a new classic target to get with Urza Saga in your Pox deck, because you want it in your Pox deck anyway. There just wasn't room for that. And with the amount of land destruction in this and looping Cabal Pit, just sort of ran out of deck space, and it's not a particularly unique effect among all the other removal we got here. The other card that I've never played Pox without is Nether Spirit, missing from this list. Nether Spirit is a sweet one to mill into. It can come back every turn. It's a win condition if they don't really answer it. But the big thing that Nether Spirit doesn't do anymore is block. And blocking was Nether Spirit's main job, where it just comes into play every turn. eats a Tarmogoyf attack, dies, comes back every turn. Well, guess what? Every threat in Legacy right now flies, or it generates some other value other than connecting for damage when it attacks. So we're talking about like Uro or Murktide Regent, Dragon's Rage Chandler, Delver, Timeless Dragon. Everything flies or has immediate value attached, and Nether Spirit just hasn't quite kept up. We will see if I miss its presence during this league, but it's out and more land destruction is in. The sideboard, somebody on my last video commented that Ashiok Dream Render is a card that lines up well in a number of matchups that are traditionally difficult for Pox, like dedicated lands decks and combo decks. Ashiok doesn't get every combo deck, but it does Dumpster Storm pretty hard, which is one of the worst matchups for Pox. And it's really good against lands because lands is all about searching the deck with crop rotation and cards of that nature, and then using the graveyard with Life from the Loam and Punishing Fire and stuff. And Ashiok shuts down those two things exactly. I'm a big fan of Ashiok. Back when I streamed on Twitch, Ashiok Game Ender was one of my emotes, so I'm all about Ashiok, and I'm disappointed in myself for forgetting about it last time, but it's here now. All about it. Last league, I played 3 Sphere of Resistance in the sideboard. Ashiok's doing some of that work, but I was really impressed with Sphere, and especially in this extra dedicated land destruction build that's also dedicated to getting extra lands into play. Big fan of Sphere of Resistance. Then the rest of this stuff should come as no surprise. Assassin's Trophy if you need more removal. Also taxing basics. Feeding right into the main deck plan of get the basics out of the deck and then eliminate them. 3 Plague Engineer might be too much. Like, at least one of these is a flex slot, but I'm going to stick with 3 Engineers for now. And then Surgical Extraction. I think I'm going to go back on my word immediately and turn one of these Plague Engineers into a Sudden Edict. I just want to give Murktide Regent a little more respect. I have the Assassin's Trophies, but that's a card you really don't want to slip through the cracks. And I'm going to leave it there and jump into this league with Lands-Pox, Extra Exploration, Extra Land Destruction, Mega Hateful, Mega Pox. Let's go. I'm on the play in round 1, and this hand needs my opponent to be on a fair deck, but I am going to keep it. I think I have to fetch Bayou to start, because if they force the exploration, I want to be able to him on turn 2. Yeah, I'm going to go Bayou, Exploration, Swamp, I guess. That just resolved with no argument. They're either a fair deck with no counterspells or an extremely unfair deck with no counterspells. There's only 5 fetchable lands in my deck, so this Verdant Catacombs isn't going to cash out for very long when I'm loaming, so just something to be aware of. Like 3 of them are already accounted for. There's only 2 more in the deck. All right. Well, we're on maximum unfair, it seems. Let's hope Hymn to Turok lines up well here. But if they put Grizzlebrand into play, it's not going to matter. Oh, I should have played Forest instead of Swamp. That at least represents crop rotation for Bajuka Bog and would have to slow down an unfair deck. Targeting themselves with... Okay. Oh, they only have Sarah Emissary. As far as monstrous creatures go, that one's not that bad. Let's see what the name is here. Protection from creatures. My deck has 0 of those in it. Saying there's a chance. Beseiju doesn't help me here. I can Life from the Loam, my Verdant Catacombs, play Catacombs for a turn, and then Hymn to Turok, my opponent down to 0 cards. Okay. I actually have to draw an Edict effect, so I'm not going to be judging Loam. I have 2 draw steps to find an Edict. Don't dredge Loam. Not helpful. I do have another Loam. I can Mox Diamond, discard Beseiju, Loam, 2 cards back, play Verdant Catacombs, and hope for the best here. Yeah, there's not a land in my deck that helps me here. I'm just need to draw a Liliana or Smallpox. And I'm going to fetch my last Swamp to get that out of the way. That tiny percentage. Going to take it. And Moment of Truth, dead. All right. Okay. We had a chance there, but wasn't quite good enough. Okay, the Surgicals, the Ashioks, Caracas. I think the Spheres come in here. There's even an argument for Trophy. Definitely Edict. Pithing Needle naming Grizzlebrand is also kind of big. All right. Let's see how I make room for all of this stuff. This is not a Crucible matchup, not a Liliana the Last Hope matchup. I don't think this is a 2 Ghost Quarter matchup. I'm actually going to be shaving like kind of a lot of this fringe acceleration stuff because that's not really what the matchup's about. It's about stability, not really speed. So some of the explorations can go. I might actually cut all the explorations in this case. This is an extreme situation. Maybe Mox Diamond shouldn't come out though, because I just want to maximize my ability to stick one of these sideboard cards, the hate pieces. Retrofitter Foundry, like I still have to win the game somehow, but Urza Saga can do it eventually. And maybe a Loam can go. Got to make room for all these cards somewhere. All my edicts are in, plus the one in the sideboard. My graveyard hate, Caracas. Yeah, this makes sense. Assassin's Trophy. Is that better than any of the cards that are currently in my deck? And don't think that it is. Like, even like Cabal Pit is not going to have a lot of text in this matchup, but it does discard to Mox Diamond, which is an important thing to keep available. Yeah, all right. You can't just play 4 Mox Diamond and then board down to 20 lands or whatever. Oof. A turn 2 Hymn to Turok is not good enough here. I'm going to mulligan. This one is an absolute heater. Holy shit. I think I'm going to bottom Mox Diamond because got to send something. Keep this, send Mox Diamond. I love that Wasteland even cast the Nile Spellbomb. Cabal Pit. Glad I didn't board that out. It's my only black source. Oh, we're on show and tell now. That's scary. It doesn't have to be, though. I can discard one of them and extract them, and then they're gone. Yeah, I'm actually going to do that. I don't really care about Entomb because I have the Nile Spellbomb coming. I can wait until they have 3 mana and then extract show and tells from the deck. Lotus Petal, okay. Just playing around discard with that. Makes sense. Oh, the old game ender. I'll float this Nile Spellbomb here. I'm going to set a stop in their draw step and give them a chance to draw another show and tell before I extract them all. Draw for turn, extract show and tells, leaving up the black in case I want to pop my Spellbomb. Okay, what's going on in this deck? They drew Thoughtseize, that's a pretty good one. Take the show and tells out, of course. And a couple of Wear Tears, Serenity, Feed the Swarm. Okay, 1 Archon, 4 Grizzlebrand. Oh, they boarded out a lot of Faithless Lootings. The show and tell plan is pretty dedicated here, actually. 3 Grief, and no Unmask, but we saw Unmask in game 1, so that's part of their sideboard plan. Okay, so they're Thoughtseizing me here. Probably going to lose Ashiok, but Surgical's also bad. Just every card I have available to me is a nightmare for my opponent right now. Yep, took Ashiok. There's Blue to Delta. Their hand is Scrubland and Entomb. I still have to win this game somehow, but I'm not in danger of losing it anytime soon. And they have to go through the graveyard to win now. I took out all the show and tells, so I'm not popping this Nile Spellbomb just to draw a card ever. It will be disrupting a combo when I go for it. Oh, there's that. Just keeps getting better. Going for Entomb, starting to force some answers here. We could Entomb Faithless Looting and just like try to flush me out, but that's not going to work. All right, Entomb their Archon. That does at least play around Caracas. And it pads against Surgical because Surgical hitting Grizzlebrand removes 4 cards and the Archon's a 1-up anyway. Now it's just a race to draw Urza Saga, but they have 2 Serenities and Wear Tears in the deck, so Urza Saga isn't even... I mean, it'll eventually win the game. Oh, speaking of eventually winning the game, yeah, I'm gonna hit them with the game ender here. Ooh, resolved, and they did not fetch in response. Okay. I couldn't leave up black for Spellbomb, so if they force the action this turn, then just not going to get a card off it, but they have to get through the surgical extraction before that even matters. Probably supposed to fetch in response, though, if you have a fetchable land left in the deck, which I feel like you do. Spells and abilities your opponents control can't cause their controller to search their library. And they packed it up to that. Just too much hate. Don't even need to present a win condition. Just not going to lose is good enough. Now I got to do one on the draw, though. Okay, we have to beat Show and Tell, which discard's very good against Show and Tell and pretty risky against reanimating. So it's cool that we get that pivot. And maybe I do want the Ghost Quarters. Like, if my plan is to squeeze a Show and Tell under Sphere of Resistance, then Ghost Quarter can come back in. I just feel like I want this Pithing Needle too. If I can ever name Grizzlebrand, the game gets so much easier. Or am I going to find 2 cuts here? Could be like another Loam, but Loaming is my whole plan to get out from under my own sphere. Yeah, if I'm likely to mulligan anyway, I think Mox Diamond, shaving one of those becomes reasonable. And I guess I boarded in Caracas, so that's an extra land coming in. I could lower my land count. Like, Boseiju is not going to do a whole lot other than be a green source in this matchup. Okay, I'm comfortable with this. Let's do it. Okay, found a strong opening hand that contains Surgical Extraction. This is a keep. Reanimator is built to push through hands like this, but I'm still keeping. Oh god, they kept 7. I'm so dead. Oh, yeah, if they're slowing down, then maybe I'm not dead. I'm going to lead on Saga. Like, I don't care if it makes constructs. I'm going to fetch in response. What are we doing? Yeah, if I can get my Nile Spellbomb in play, I'm just not even worried about making constructs. Needling the Grizz Father on turn 1 makes all these edicts in my hand much more reasonable. A 7/7 lifelink is a much easier card to beat. Ultimately just a creature. When it's not also 14 cards. Oh good, I drew a second Urborg. That's actually... I was being sarcastic, but it's actually not that bad, because if I Smallpox here, they lose their only land, and I don't really lose a land because I'm about to Legend Rule anyway. I'm going to discard Life from the Loam. And now they have to decide on their discard. Do they take the obvious, put a reanimatable creature into the graveyard, running into my Surgical Extraction, or do they try to dance around it? I'm going to sack Urborg. They discarded Feed the Swarm. Okay. They are playing around Surgical. Wow, they're just conceding. They must not have another mana source. I think that on my next turn, I was going to Dredge Loam, float a colorless off Urza Saga, tutor up Mox Diamond, discard Urborg, cast Loam, and then play Urborg for turn. I think that's the best way to get my engine up. We don't need it because they scooped, but that's what I was going to do to get Life from the Loam happening and get access to green mana. Like, it kind of hurts skipping on getting Nile Spellbomb, but I don't think I need it there. Nice. On to the next one. I got kind of an awkward one here in round 2. I'm on the draw, which means I have a chance to draw Mox Diamond or Dark Ritual, which makes this hand really good. If my opponent's any kind of fair deck, I actually think this hand is fine. I'm going to try it for science. I'm just not really in the business of mulliganing playable hands in general as a Magic player. Some decks require specific sets of cards, and some are just happy with a game plan, and I think this is one that's happy with a game plan. And there's lots of great draws in my deck. Mox Diamond probably being the best of them. Like, if I could Mox Diamond discarding probably Wasteland, play Exploration, Swamp Pit, Hymn to Turok, turn 2 Liliana, like, that's a game plan. Dark Ritual gets Hymn to Turok on the stack, or I would lead on Liliana. Yeah, there's a lot of good draws in the deck. Even just like a green source gets me Exploration and turn 2 Liliana. I'm in. Ooh, a Blood Crypt. Playing against some sort of Death Shadow strategy. Is that what's going on here? Or someone joined the wrong queue? Hard to say. All right, options here include committing to the turn 2 Hymn to Turok. I could just Wasteland them and hope they're dead. I don't really want to get him to myself. Yeah, I'm going to go for Wasteland. Whatever this deck is, it probably plays a low land count, and I need a good draw anyway here, so I'll just take this turn to try to screw them. This is a matchup I should be pretty favored against if my deck cooperates. Just highly susceptible to Wasteland, probably not a basic land in this list. Low resource deck with 1-drop creatures. This is the type of deck that Smallpox just sends to the Shadow Realm. But it's also the kind of deck that provides steady, consistent early pressure, which, if I can't get ahead of, will beat me. For 1, you got a spell, another DRC. Okay. How about Dark Ritual? Or just, another uncastable green card. We'll get there eventually, don't worry. Okay, plenty of mana over there. That was not the plan, or should not have been the plan. Is not working as the plan, whatever I'm trying to say here. All right, our pure Rakdos, it seems. And I'm getting my thoughts seized. There's a creature for Delirium. There's an instant for Delirium, and this Thoughtseize is the sorcery, so they're going to be delirious here. They're probably going to take Liliana of the Veil. Wow, Fire Blast. This deck is hot. Oh, it took him to Turok. Interesting. Death Shadow. All right. Yep. This is the version of events where they get up under me, and I am in trouble. All right, I'm going to play Boseiju, play Exploration. Might as well play Urborg. All their lands are swamps anyway. Yeah, this Liliana the Last Hope happened to turn late. If it could have picked off 1 DRC, it would have been nice. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I am not winning this one. Oh, Scourge of the Skyclaves. Yeah, you did it. Okay. Yeah, no acceleration there. I think with acceleration, like any Mox Diamond or Dark Ritual, we win, but didn't have it, and they got up under me. Now I need to adjust to this creature deck. Assassin's Trophy looks good to me. Sudden Edict I'm interested in. Sphere of Resistance could send them out of the game, and Ashiok could mess with DRCs and beat up their low resource situation. I'm probably not bringing in Ashiok. This matchup's not quite grindy enough for Crucible. That's something you want against really late game decks with tons of basics, and this is not one of those. Boseiju is a green source. I suspect that Ghost Quarter is probably pretty close to Strip Mine. I don't know how many basics they can fit in this deck, but we saw Fire Blast, which points in a direction of Mountain forward. I don't know that. Yeah, this is another stability over speed matchup. I do want to accelerate my mana, but I think Dark Ritual and Mox Diamond are better ways to do that. I could also shave a Loam and just focus on beating the board. I'm leaving my Nile Spellbomb in there in case I need to remove Delirium. I can see arguments for Plague Engineer. I can see arguments for a lot of stuff here. But I think I like Sphere of Resistance over all of it. Probably isn't much of a Thoughtseize matchup. Alright. I'm going to do this. There's tons of removal, beating up on their lands, pressuring their spells. Oh, well, here's the one of Exploration with no extra lands to play. I have to mulligan this. This is too much acceleration, not enough action. This one I'm interested in, though. I'm going to keep this, and I think I bottom Nile Spellbomb. Or I could... No, I do have Loam going, so... If I bottom Nile Spellbomb... Yeah, that's a later thing. Then go Swamp, Mox Diamond, discard Wasteland, play Loam. Okay. There's a start. That's turn 2 Liliana. If I get Thoughtseized, I'm Loaming, and it's fine. If they just play some creature, it's dead. Okay. Deal. I am gonna dredge Loam. I have the Exploration. Let's get to work here. 2 Urza Sagas just hit the bin. Target player sacks a creature. Get rid of that one. You know that creature you have? Put it in the graveyard. Cycle to Street Wraith. Good Death Shadow here. Oh, Swift Spear, that's fun. We could do both. Thoughtseize. Alright, probably taking Exploration, I have to guess. Have to imagine. I'm taking a draw step here, and Wasteland, Loam back, 2 Sagas, and Wasteland. I'm going to Wasteland again. Going to try to take them out of this game. I boarded in all that removal. Let's see it pay off. Nope. Relentless. And a 6/6 Shadow. Fuck. I'm not going to dredge Loam this time. Is Thoughtseize a card I want to cast? Yeah, probably. Give me a look. BRC and Swift Spear. All these cards are so good. 3 card types in the graveyard. And another land, so I'm not in a hurry to Ghost Quarter here. I think I want to take the Channeler and play Saga. Yeah, this has been relentless land drops, relentless creatures. I could have had Saga in play last turn and not done the Wasteland thing, which, in retrospect, would have been way better. But it's hard to predict that. God. Through Chain Lightning? Am I literally dead? I'm at 14. Don't have 2 red to send it back. Yeah, I'm very dead here. Oh, yeah. I'm at 1. I forgot the other Swift Spear had haste. Sphere of Resistance right on time. Yeah, just fucking smeared by this Rakdos deck. That was pretty cool. I missed Swords to Plowshares. And no Smallpox appearing anywhere. I had to answer each of those cards one at a time. Yeah, I wonder if that match is as good as I thought it was on initial impression. I guess it depends on their land count. Like if they try to get frisky with a 1 or 2 land hand, but they just had, what, 4 lands that game? Yeah, cool deck. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the draw in round 3, finally have a turn 1 Liliana or a Smallpox hand. I'm in. Build turn 1 Liliana plus discard life from the Loam. Love to see it. I hope it happens. I am not going to play around Stifle. And unpunished, I'm just going to go for Liliana. Fuck a Daze. Daze sets them back a land as well. Oh yeah. Each player discards a card. Discarding life from the Loam. God, I love when a deck just does the thing it's supposed to. Let's learn about the opponent's deck. Are you someone who loves Liliana or hates Liliana? Like, they could just discard Grizzlebrand here and be some blue Reanimator deck. That'd be disappointing. Joining Bloodstained Mire. Alright, this looks like Grixis control. I'm trying to think of what decks have Bloodstained Mire and Scalding Tarn in them. I guess it could be a Storm deck of some kind. Okay, neither of those things are true. I don't know what this is. Some sort of blue painter? Unclear. Do I want to dredge Loam here? I think I do, yeah. I'm going to dredge Loam. And then play Boseiju, which I wish I could have just pointed at Saga, but I don't have the necessary mana to do that. Loam targeting 2 lands. I'm going to discard the basic forest to Liliana. Mox Opal, okay. I'm getting Painter vibes. I don't think I'm dredging Loam this turn, because this turn I'm casting Smallpox and probably sacking Boseiju. Does that make sense? I guess if I dredge Wasteland, that's really good for me. So I'm going to dredge. I would rather Wasteland than Smallpox this turn. Alright, that didn't work out. Am I poxing? I guess I could cycle Barrenmore. That gives up on Smallpox. If I cycle Barrenmore, dredge a Wasteland, then I don't have enough land drops to do both. I'm going to plus Liliana and start there. This hand doesn't need Cabal Pit in it. Started a Scalding Tarn. This Ancient Tomb is so good. Yeah, I think I'm going to fetch Bayou and cast Smallpox, sacking the Boseiju. Yeah, the Ancient Tomb lets them just let this resolve and still make 2 constructs. So good. Okay, that's my turn. I am worried. Liliana will still have enough loyalty to minus next turn and kill one of the constructs. If there's going to be a next turn, if I just get painted out here, it's not going to matter. They could also just get Pithing Needle. They need to come up with a lot of extra mana. Okay, is your last card in hand a Lotus Petal? Not. Okay, deal. Liliana's taking a beating. Yeah, and I guess I have to dredge Loam. I have to hit Wasteland. I have to waste the Ancient Tomb. Yeah, that's how this works. Loam hit nothing. Yeah, Boseiju's a turn late. Cabal Pit doesn't kill a 3/3. I guess I can just blind cycle Barrenmore and hope I hit one of my land destruction spells. Yeah, being 19 cards into the deck and missing on 6 outs here sucks ass. But alright, Baron Moore. I need you to hit here. Mox Diamond, you asshole. Alright, I guess maybe they'll sack the wrong thing. Yep, and we are dead to Grindstone. We just make sure that there's nothing in my deck that plays around that. There is not. Disappointing. Just 1/3 of the way through the deck and missing on a 6 outer. I should have seen 2 of them by now. Come on, math. Okay, Ashiok is good here. Pithing Needle is good. Trophy is good. 6 cards. I could skip Ashiok, but the tutor half of Saga is just really important to this deck. But the graveyard part is not. Guess I can use all my wasteland effects and not do all that. Liliana the Last Hope is not great here. I think this is a match I can slim on Mox Diamond a little. Nile Spellbomb, not going to do much. I guess we saw red fetch lands, so they probably do have goblins, actually. Okay, I'm going to remove some of the acceleration because this is a deck that's going to give me time to hit land drops. I don't need to go that fast. I still have some of the acceleration. You want to go a little fast, and you want to be insulated from Smallpox a little bit. This hand is kind of interesting because Ghost Quarter is something that I really wanted last game. I'm actually going to keep this. I have a sideboard card and Assassin's Trophy. I have Baron Moore for a redraw. And I think I am going to fetch Bayou rather than play the basic. Right, there's Goblin Welder. Time to find a Smallpox. Uh-oh. There's more. 2 Welders. And me without my Plague Engineer. Bayou, cycle Baron Moore. Still love to see a Smallpox. I am not disappointed in Nile Spellbomb, though. That will at least keep the worst of the welder shit from happening. So 2 welders make that pretty awkward. And maybe this doesn't do anything. Okay, there's Painter. Everything's blue. There's Grindstone. Okay. I'm going to go to my turn here. Another Baron Moore. If I Dark Ritual, cycle Baron Moore. Yeah, I can see a few more cards here before I have to really do anything. Okay, Dark Ritual, cycle Baron Moore. Assassin's Trophy, the Painter. The only artifacts they have are Grindstone and Painter, so if I Spellbomb, they're going to lose one or the other. So they could have Spirit Guide Red Blast here. Some versions of this deck do that, some don't. Welding, oh, okay. Yeah, this actually, this is so much better. So I'm just dead, right? Oh no, that's not true. I can Ghost Quarter, the Ancient Tomb. Hope they don't have another basic. That seems unlikely in this deck. They'd need a mana source in hand. I could also just wait. But waiting, like if I do this now, they weld Petal back into Painter, and then any mana source kills me. If I wait, they untap, because this is choose 2, and when this ability resolves, they flip. This is not Goblin Engineer. Goblin Engineer sacks as part of the cost. Goblin Welder exchanges them on resolution. So they can target Lotus Petal and Painter, and then in response, target Lotus Petal and Painter. Oof. Yeah, this one is just not there for me. I could give up on the card and hope they sequence this wrong, but I don't even know how that's possible. All right, I'm spellbombing and hope they don't have a mana source. That's all I can do. Oh, that's back. Okay, and there's currently no artifacts in the graveyard for Welder to do anything with, so they can't like flip the Lotus Petal in, but they don't need it. All right, I just had a land. Okay, you did it. Yeah, Smallpox probably wins that game too because it wipes out a Welder. We're just like really reliant on Smallpox and didn't cast one. Tough beats. On to the next round. On the play in round 4 with a true Pox heater. I'm going to keep this. I'm going to Mox Diamond, discarding Cabal Pit, Bayou, Hymn to Turok. I want to hold on to the Wasteland. Though I guess Smallpox does most of what Wasteland does anyway. But squeezing them all the way out of the game is really exciting. Guard Cabal Pit, Bayou, and Imya. The great thing about Hymn to Turok is even if they force it, they still lose 2 cards. Forest Crop Rotation. Alright, some sort of lands or depths deck. Glad I held on to the Wasteland. They have their own Wasteland, that's awkward. Okay. Loam off the top. Another Mox Diamond. I'm actually just going to hymn them again, I think. This protects me from the Smallpox because I just won't have any lands in play. Oh, fuck, they have a Loam. But they need to get lands into play to cast the Loam. It doesn't matter yet. Loam just dredged. Blast Zone. Expedition map, okay. Oh, bummer. I would like to cycle this, but if I play it, I sack it. If I leave it in my hand, I lose it to Smallpox. I have to Pox here. Just have to try to keep them from resolving that Loam. Discarded Loam, 1 card left in hand. I gotta find my Loam before they cast theirs. On Wasteland, oh baby. Barrenmore, Wasteland, Bayou, get back in my hand. Opponent just rolled their eyes through the back of their head. Yes, alright. Now we're doing it. Yeah, I'll set up here. I am gonna dredge Loam. Was looking for Urza Saga. Found it immediately. Easy game. Saga. Alright, now I have a win condition. Played Beseju, played Exploration, played Otawara. Okay. I am not going to dredge Loam this time. I'm going to Wasteland Beseju and start making constructs. If they draw a card, then they can't dredge Loam. If they dredge Loam, then they can't play a land. And I'm going to get Nile Spellbomb, wipe out the Loam. Make 2 constructs, Spellbomb you. Yeah, alright. Out prisons the lands deck. Otawara is interesting. It's worth noting. That's not in every version of lands. Okay, Ashiok's coming in. Surgical Extraction. Do I need Extraction and Ashiok? In hitting Loam in this set quasi-mirror is really important. Cabal Pit does very little other than be a land and Black Source, which is not nothing, but it's also not a lot. Liliana the Last Hope, once again, not delivering. I don't think I care much about Thoughtseize for this matchup. And I'd rather have Mox Diamond than Dark Ritual, but ritualing out Ashiok's pretty great. Okay, if I put 2 trophies, or do I want Pithing Needle and Surgical? Between Trophy, Needle, and Surgical, there's a lot of arguments here. I think I just want trophies. Is 1 enough Surgical Extractions to justify bringing them in at all? This isn't a Brainstorm deck where you just can dig for a 1-of when it's time. This is a deck that, like, if you want this effect, you should probably just have it. But I have Ashiok doing... So I do have 3 of that effect. It's just spread across different cards. Plus the Nile Spellbomb, I actually have 4 of that effect. Yeah, I'm okay with this. No Acceleration. Don't have double black. I do have Wasteland and Ghost Quarter. Opponent kept 7. Just feel like this is not a keep. Yeah, I'm going to mulligan this. There we go. Keep this one and send probably Assassin's Trophy. I just want to set up being a Loam deck too. Alright. Ghost Quarter does a lot of what Assassin's Trophy does in this matchup. They're almost the same card in a lot of ways. Okay, how do I sequence this? I go Mox Diamond, Exploration, Land, Loam. Okay, so Mox Diamond, discard Barrenmore. First land, fetch. Gonna get Forest. Play around Wasteland. Guess I don't need to. Does this even matter? No, I have Mox Diamond. I guess I'll get Forest, make sure I have green. Exploration. Swamp, and a Loam. Great to work here. Most land decks have between 1 and 3 forests in them. I think 2 is standard right now. I guess depending on their build. Some have forest and snow forest for Field of the Dead. Being stage. Fuck. Alright, well, that was a really good Soul Guide Lantern. Yeah, if I had been able to leave up black, I could cycle in response. I'll cycle now. I play more Loams. Let's find one. Oh, these are my 2 lands for the turn. Wasteland and Ghost Quarter. And I'm not going to play the second exploration. It just doesn't do anything right now. And I'm not going to Wasteland straight into crop rotation either. We're going to have to earn that one. Like, they're not accelerating. Oh, JK, there's an exploration. Okay. So if I Wasteland Rashadan Port, if they Wasteland back, all right, yeah. I'm going to waste Port. Oh, that was a really good draw. I'm going to cast Ashiok right now while they don't have green mana. That turns off crop rotation forever. They could Wasteland in response, and then that forces me to Ghost Quarter, and then they get to search, and then could crop rot, if that's the plan. All right, cool. I'm going to Ghost Quarter Thespian Stage now. Did not find a land, and I'm going to hit them one time with Ashiok, then probably stop doing that. Otawara and Endurance are gone. I'd expect them to draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern. All right, not interested. They go Stage Depths here. You got me. Ooh, we're also on a Ghost Quarter strat. Come to Turok. Let's get that hand empty. What are you cooking with over there? I hope to flush out the Loam here. If they crop rotation, it's going to go extremely poorly. All right, they did have Loam. I can zap. They can draw with Soul Guide Lantern in response, but then Soul Guide Lantern's gone, which also helps me. All right, just let it go. That makes sense. Hoarding my Verdant Catacombs. I think that's fine. Because if I fetch, then I'm out of basics. Yeah, whatever. It's tapped. Enjoy that. I believe I am ahead right now. If they waste me, yeah, I think I'm okay with that. That's a red sword. Oh, no, it's not because Ashiok's in play. Got him. Hoarding my black. Okay. Now I will play the other exploration because at some point I'm going to draw a Liliana and want to start plussing. And I don't want multiple cards stranded in my hand when that happens. Ashiok has felt really good here. Like this fetch land just not being a real game piece. They use the Ghost Quarter. They do have another swamp. Did you draw Loam? Because that would actually be pretty annoying. Oh no. Tapping green. Ah, fuck. Alright, well, at least Ashiok can zap the Loam again. And that'll flush out the Soul Guide Lantern this time. Ooh. 2 for Tuesday. Yeah. Ashiok you. They pop the Soul Guide Lantern to dredge and response. Then they lose all of these things instead. And then I can play Nile Spellbomb, which will get Loam the next time around. And draw me a card. I like it. Just glad I found a way out of this Ghost Quarter loop before it was too late. Because the next Ghost Quarter is gonna land. Just full strip mine. The graveyard hates clear. Time to draw Loam. Oh, yeah. Well, let's flush out your Loam. Tried so hard to protect it, but it's gone. And Ashiok can go to 1 to get rid of this. All 4 Urza Sagas are just randomly removed right now, also. Not helpful. Bajuka Bog. That's actually a little annoying, because now Loam is mediocre. But whatever. I'll play out my Bayou. Maybe it was better to play Mox Diamond, but I'll give them a Wasteland target. It's fine. There's already one in play with the Verdant Catacombs that can't get another basic. Ooh, another one. Yeah, I think I do want to just... Oh, if the one card in hand is crop rotation. Oh, and there's like a split second where this Misty Rainforest is live. No, I'm not doing it. Maybe later in the game, this like burst mill plan can show up. Pretty worried about Field of the Dead right now. Ooh, that's a good one. Liliana, let's go. Start squeezing everybody. I think I'm going to discard Mox Diamond rather than Dark Ritual. So I can get my hand empty next turn. If I want to. Like if this Liliana can keep crop rotation out of the mix for me to switch small Ashiok for big Ashiok. Or disloyal Ashiok for more loyal Ashiok. Okay. That resolves. Probably Liliana's the name. Yep. Suspect that arrived right on time. Yeah, maybe I should just be bursting with Ashiok. Like, There's 22 cards left in their deck, and I can mill a lot more than that between the two Ashioks. Okay, having Wasteland in play makes me feel better about the possibility of crop rotation. All right, I'm going to zap them, lose my Ashiok briefly, then re-Ashiok, zap them again, play Wasteland. And my plan is actually to just exile their deck right now. And Endurance doesn't even help because Endurance doesn't recover exiled cards. Urborg. Hit you with Ashiok. Another Endurance gone. And they're just conceding. Fuck yeah. Exile your deck the slow way. Jace the Mind Sculptor is for chumps. Okay, the lands technology came in crazy hard there. On to the final round. We're in the final round. Positive record on the line. I'm on the draw. I have a turn 1 Smallpox and a bunch of sagas. I'm going to keep this. A mountain. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Don't know what's going on here. Ooh, that was an exciting draw, probably. Do I just Smallpox here? Knock out this mountain? Lotus Petal Mountain. So weird. If I wait a turn, I can Smallpox and Loam. Like Dark Ritual, that gives me 4 mana. But if they spend that one turn getting like Trinisphere or Rabblemaster or something into play, I'm going to regret it. Okay, I'm just going. Opponent said they're a huge fan of my content. We'll see if that's still true after the Smallpox resolves. This is where they discard Echo of Eons. Checkmate. Yeah, I'm going to discard Loam. It's a pretty good one to be rid of. They said my podcast got them into Legacy. I appreciate that a lot. Welcome to Legacy. I hope you didn't want permanence. Discarded a red Elemental Blast, so this is some sort of painter deck. Reb is a safe discard in this matchup. Good read. Uh-oh. Am I dead? I might be dead. I'm going to draw a card. That's not quite what I wanted, but I will play it. Yeah, knowing they're painter now makes that Smallpox look really bad. Oof. Yeah. Like, if they were red prison, I think that Smallpox is correct, but now knowing they're painter, it just looks really awful. Because obviously you'd prefer the Smallpox to also kill the painter. But with that Pyroblast, it wouldn't have. Alright, now that they're willing to Pyroblast lands, I'm going to play the fetch land and try to play around it a little. Here comes Painter. Painter beats. It is still not time to dredge Loam. I'll play Wasteland. At least if they Pyroblast that one, they lose a land for it. Guess I'm supposed to Saga there. It doesn't really matter. Like, I can't Wasteland them off of... Well, I guess if I... No. If they have Grindstone, I just lose. It doesn't matter. Okay. 1 card in hand. 0 cards in hand. I'm getting grinded. I hope they give me more credit than they should here, and just don't activate Grindstone for some reason. I don't even think I have a draw, though. Like, my main deck can't answer a creature at instant speed. Alright, they're going for it. Thus, I will concede. Okay, I'm going to remember my Plague Engineers this time, so I don't get punked by Goblin Welder again. Plague Engineer, Sudden Edict, Assassin's Trophy, and Pithing Needle. Interested in all of these. Sorry, Crucible. Crucible just has not really performed in this league. I'm sorry to say. I like Thoughtseize. Dark Rituals, okay. Exploration, I can chill on. Liliana does kill Welders. That's all she does, though. And I'm bringing in the Plague Engineers. Yeah, I think Plague Engineer is probably better. Maybe I'm just off Dark Ritual. Slow down. Still have all my diamonds. I left in 2 explorations because it's a good card to have in play, but you can't really afford to draw 2. Ugh. 1 land and we're humming here, but or 1 additional land. I think I got a mulligan this. That's not much better, honestly. I could keep this and bottom Trophy. Play Saga and start ticking. Yeah, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to bottom Trophy. It's like Saga and Wasteland both line up well against what this deck's trying to do, and if I'm in a position to fix my mana and it hasn't resolved itself by turn 3, Saga can get Mox. Hope they're not a Blood Moon build. There's the Welder. Smallpox is here, if I can cast it ever. On Mox. Oh, baby, we drew the Mox. Okay. Mox, discard, Wasteland, Swamp, Smallpox. Getting after it here. And I'm going to sack the Swamp. Have Loam, discard that. I think getting my Needle and just turning off Grindstone is more important than untapping with double black. I can dredge Loam and just do that anyway. Discarded a Lotus Petal. Okay, a Grindstone that I'm about to turn off. Dredge Loam. Then float a Colorless. Get Pithing Needle. Grindstone. Saga, Baron Moor, and Swamp back to the hand. Yeah, because I can cycle Baron Moor. Good shit, let's keep it going. A Saga. There's a Wasteland in my graveyard. Painter. Alright. That's annoying, but good stuff. I'm gonna cycle Baron Moor and Dredge Loam. I could just Hymn to Turok. I think I want to do that. I'm going to play Saga and then Hymn. With 2 cards in hand, I expect some number of Pyroblasts, and that's how they break up the Pithing Needle thing. Oh, 2 Karns. Jesus, yeah, let's get rid of those. If they drew a land, they can start making constructs. Oh, wow. All right. Construct Parade is upon us. And I also have constructs, and I have Wasteland available. Saga ticks up. If I Loam, then I don't get to make a construct. But I still think Wasteland is worth doing. Green, colorless. Do I think it's more important to stop the tutor or reduce their lands to you? Because if I Wasteland the first Saga, then they get a construct and they don't get to tutor next turn, but the other Saga has another chance to make more constructs. If I Wasteland the second Saga, they get 1 construct, 1 tutor, and they're done with that until they find another one. I'm going to hit the newer Saga and just hope that the tutor isn't that bad. If they have their own Pithing Needle, I guess Graveyard Hate would be pretty bad, but I do have Baron Moor to protect my Loam. Soulguide Lantern was the choice. Going after Loam. I think I would like to cycle to protect my Loam. If they want to pop and exile my graveyard in response, then I still get to draw a card. It's all good. That also reduces the number of artifacts in play for combat. Okay, cool. All right, my graveyard's gone. I get to draw a card. That Soulguide Lantern ran its course very quickly. I get to make a 3/3 and then tutor up an artifact, so my creatures will be bigger than theirs. Drew Mox Diamond. That's what I was going to tutor for. So, guess that gives me Nile, or no, Retrofitter Founder's way better. All right, yeah. Yeah, I'd rather Retrofitter than Spellbomb. Urza Saga, get in. Mox Diamond, get in. Yeah, now I'm just miles ahead on the artifact game. If they draw a red blast, I could die quickly. Like, blast, Pithing Needle, untap, Grindstone. That's something I gotta watch out for. And by watch out for, I mean die if they have, because I don't really have much counterplay to it. If I can Wasteland the Ancient Tomb, that's a way out. Or, alright, Lion's Eye Diamond doesn't matter. It does almost nothing. I mean, it makes the Pyroblast a 1-turn win instead of a pass the turn win. The solution is still Wasteland. Nile Spellbombs, kind of whatever. Play my land. 1, 2, for Saga. I think I do want Spellbomb because I want to redraw. I just need to hit and out. Back for 7. They're gonna die quick. They need Pyroblast like right now. Please just don't. Oh no, mana's being tapped. Okay, a second Painter is fine. That means a removal spell is not a great draw, but they're gonna have to chump with at least one of the creatures this turn. In the end step, I want to make a construct And do I want a flying Thopter or do I want a new card in my hand? I think I'll make a flying Thopter. Push large amounts of damage here. On Wasteland. Truck, not helpful. Make another creature. Now both of the constructs are lethal because I made the flyer. So, I could just get this out of the way. Yeah, I don't want to draw that card, so I'll just put it straight into the graveyard. Then attack. They get to keep one Painter Servant, which is enough. Yeah, I'm still dead to Red Blast off the top. I don't like it. Okay, one down. Did I make a land drop this turn? I don't think so. And with the LED, I'm still dead to a Pyroblast even if I find Wasteland, so I guess I'm just gonna pass and hope I'm not dead. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Hit the concede button, please. Oh, we dodged. Good. All right, game 3's coming. That was exciting. I don't think Sphere of Resistance is where I want to be here. I don't think I want Surgical either. I can see an argument for Ashiok. I can see an argument for Liliana, actually. Maybe over Exploration. Because she picks off Welders like crazy and is a real win condition that is not an artifact. I don't know if that matters. Well, it matters for if they have Welder, then they can like flip my constructs into Mox Diamonds, and then I have to discard a land if I want to keep it. So it's just sort of like tap, destroy target artifact as long as there's a Mox Diamond in my graveyard. It's a pretty fucked up interaction. So I really don't want Welders in play. If I have done all this, I think Dark Ritual is better than Exploration. I'm just going to have one of these cards in my deck. So maybe Dark Ritual is better now that I'm on the draw. We've seen Karn the Great Creator. That's a bad card for me. That makes Mox Diamond a lot worse. All right, 2 Rituals, 3 Diamonds. My best plan for Karn is to just not let it get into play between the Mana Denial and discard, because that's a tough one to beat once it's there. Okay, I'll do it like this. Ritual Thoughtseize with no real follow-up. I would love this hand on the play, but on the draw, it just folds to a Welder. Because every card I'm going to want to take is an artifact. I guess I have to mulligan this. This I'm in business for. Snapkeep. And I think I send Ghost Quarter here. Or I could discard Ghost Quarter to Mox Diamond. Yeah, I'm going to send Verdant Catacombs. Now I want them to have... Oh, yikes. Do I have an out to that? Oh, yeah, I have my trophies are in. All right, now I want them to have a turn 1 Welder. Fuck yeah. It's disgusting, and I'm here for it. Well, there's Trophy. Am I going to give them a turn to develop here while I take out the ley line? Is that important? I think I can do that whenever. Yeah, I'd rather just put them in the Shadow Realm now. Guard Ghost Quarter, it's gone forever. Smallpox. I'm going to lose one of my Baron Moors, but I will rebuild stronger and bigger. It feels a lot worse when there's Leyline in play. But we got a Karn out of the hand. That also means that Welders can never mess with my things. Okay. No follow-up, no Ancient Tomb, no Ancient Tomb. Urza Saga's probably my best draw, because that lets me cast Liliana and develops in a meaningful way. Oh, Lotus Petal, go. That's not what they wanted to do with that turn. If I plus, I can squeeze them under Liliana, but I lose my trophy. I might just want to put Liliana into play and pass the turn. Like, they could search up Pithing Needle. But if they do that, then it's not on Wasteland and they didn't get Grindstone. Oh, maybe I just died. I was supposed to leave up Assassin's Trophy this turn. Because they just float 1. But they didn't make a land drop last turn. So they need to find a mana source somewhere. I was supposed to leave up Trophy, though. That was fucking bad. They just find Grindstone. Cast Painter. Oh no, that's a 5 mana play. Never mind. They would need Lion's Eye Diamond in hand, which we have seen, but I am dead to it. Shit. I hope the Liliana distracted enough to just get Needle instead. Or they just don't have LED. That's fine too. But wouldn't you have cast the Painter last turn if that was the play? No, because I have all these edicts. Never mind. Yeah. I could be dead here. All I can do is cross my fingers. Alright, they got the Needle. We're off the hook. Didn't have a land last turn. Maybe just have Passaroo. Now this trophy's looking bad, though. If they're missing land drops over there, I'm not gonna give them one. Oh, fuck, yeah. Alright, or I could just run off the best 2 cards in my deck in a row and ignore the Leyline entirely while holding up an answer to Painter. Yeah, this is what a turn 1 Smallpox game looks like compared to a not a Smallpox game. I believe that this is worth unlocking their mana for. If I kill the Pithing Needle, they can get a red. I just hope they don't have Lightning Bolt, I guess. But unlocking this minus wipe out the Welder. No Lightning Bolt? Alright, no Lightning Bolt. We did it, fam. Kill this Welder. Start pulling ahead with my Saga. But I did just give them a land. See how bad that gets for me. Yeah, if they're on the nothing go strat, I co-sign that. 2/2 creature. 3/3 creature. Guess what? It's a 4/4 creature. I could Needle Grindstone or just get in with Retrofitter Foundry. I think I Needle Grindstone. Just remove the cheese factor, because I don't think I'm losing a fair game at this point. No plus discarding Mox Diamond. They lost another Karn. Yes. Back for 4. This game looks good right now. I'm not going to say we've won the game, but haha, yeah. Glad I played around that. Ooh. I think I can give up on Plague Engineer to just functionally hellbend them. Him to Taraku. I guess I'm supposed to plus Liliana first, because they discard the worst card, and then him clears out 2 out of 3 of the best cards, rather than just 2 out of the 4 all cards. If that made any sense. Alright, well, they're dead on board with 1 card in hand and 1 land in play. And we did it! Put up the positive record with Loam-Pox, the lands exploration version, and I gotta say, that didn't feel like a particularly good package to add to the deck. Like, maybe 1 Crucible for late game situations if you really want to start churning, but without exploration, Crucible doesn't do anything, and there were very few exploration games. I think we had exploration in play like 2 or 3 times and only paired it with a Loam once, and more testing is probably required before you make a full decision, but I would almost rather just have those be like main deck Sudden Edicts, or flesh out the Urza Saga package, give me Curse Scroll, give me a main deck Pithing Needle, or give me my 4th Thoughtseize back. Yeah, that just never came together. I could see Loam or Crucible. I mean, Loam's in the deck no matter what. It's literally called Loam-Pox. But Loam, if you want to supplement that with Crucible, you can, but exploration really didn't do much here. I think that's where my final assessment is going to land on this build of Pox. Ghost Quarter, like, if you're cutting exploration, then you also cut one of the Ghost Quarters. That's 5 slots to work with. The Ghost Quarter could become another land, another techie land, or it could just be another spell, but I want my 4th Thoughtseize, I want Curse Scroll, I want Pithing Needle, and probably Sudden Edict in those 4 exploration slots, and maybe the Ghost Quarter can become a 2nd Sudden Edict. And that's how I'm going to leave the main deck. That's my feedback, having felt it in play. Like, this is why you actually play decks and you don't just build them on paper, because on paper this looks genius, but in actual play, the exploration just is not really important to the Loam-Pox strategy. You have Mox Diamond and Dark Ritual already doing a lot of that same work, and exploration just makes you function on a different axis, which the deck wants to do anyway, but like, at least Mox Diamond and Dark Ritual do something on their own. They do further the game on their own. Exploration is just sort of like Raven's Crime myself to have 1 extra mana for the rest of the game, if I'm not also loaming. And like, by extra, I mean 1 faster mana, because like you would have made that land drop eventually. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it makes sense in my head, and exploration did not stand the test of time in Loam-Pox here. The sideboard, though, Ashiok, holy guacamole. I'm glad Ashiok is back in the mix. Somebody, whoever that was, thank you for reminding me this card exists, because every time it came into play, it was awesome. He even just straight up exiled the land opponent's deck. Sphere of Resistance never came up in the league, but I do still like that card. I think 2's probably a reasonable number of Plague Engineer. If we're putting 2 Sudden Edicts in the main, that also opens up this sideboard slot. So some stuff would start moving around. Oh, and Pithing Needle ends up in the main. That's 2 sideboard slots that are open. Yeah, that's moving more towards a tighter list that I think I'd be happy with. If it was like my life on the line to put up a positive record in a league, I would build it in that way. However, if you just love exploration and you love lands-based strategies, this is a presentable version of this deck. And I'm going to leave it there. Primacon, thank you for asking me to play Loam-Pox. Everyone else, thank you for watching. I hope this video is popular because all you degenerates love Pox. And I'm degenerate there with you. I agree. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon, the merch, all the links in the video description below. Check out the thanks button. You could tip me directly if you very much enjoyed this video or just feeling generous today. Just $2, $5, whatever. There's a button for that now. Thanks, YouTube. And with that, I'm out of here. I'll see you next time.